Imagine this. The Ankh, often seen as a mere fashion accessory today, was once believed to be the very key to immortality itself. This ancient Egyptian symbol, with its distinctive looped cross shape, is one of the most recognizable emblems to have emerged from the sands of time. Yet few know the depth of its significance and the mysteries it holds. The Ankh was far more than a mere symbol. To the ancient Egyptians, it represented life itself, in all its dimensions, physical, spiritual, and eternal. It was a powerful emblem that pervaded every aspect of their civilization, from daily life and art to mythology and the afterlife. It was an icon held by gods and pharaohs alike, used in rituals and ceremonies that aimed to transcend the mortal plane. Its shape, resembling a key or a mirror, was believed to unlock the secrets of the universe or reflect divine truths. But what makes the Ankh so fascinating is not just its ubiquitous presence in ancient Egyptian culture, but the layers of meaning and mystery that surround it. To understand why the Ankh captured the imagination of an entire civilization for thousands of years, we need to embark on a journey through the spiritual and cultural landscape of ancient Egypt. What was it about this symbol that spoke to the deepest concerns and aspirations of the Egyptians, from the most humble villager to the most powerful pharaoh? The Ankh in everyday life and spiritual practice. The Ankh was not confined to temple walls or funerary art. It was omnipresent in the daily life of the ancient Egyptians. From small amulets worn around the neck to large carvings on temple walls, the Ankh was a symbol that accompanied individuals from birth to death and beyond. People wore it as a talisman for protection, health, and fertility. The Ankh was often incorporated into jewelry, pottery, and clothing, indicating its importance in all aspects of life. But beyond its physical presence, the Ankh held a significant place in spiritual practices. It was considered a conduit for divine energy, a tool that could connect the earthly realm with the divine. For example, priests and priestesses used the Ankh during rituals to invoke the gods and request their blessings. The symbol was often found in the context of offerings and libations, where it was believed to channel the vital essence needed to sustain both the living and the dead. The Ankh and the Afterlife. One of the most compelling aspects of the Ankh is its connection to the concept of eternal life. Ancient Egyptians were profoundly concerned with the afterlife, and much of their religious practice revolved around ensuring a smooth transition from the mortal world to the next. The Ankh played a central role in this spiritual journey. It was often placed in tombs and burial chambers, either carved into walls or included among the grave goods. In some cases, it was depicted in the hands of deities like Anubis or Osiris, who were associated with the underworld and the afterlife. The Ankh was believed to provide the breath of life to the deceased. Scenes from various tombs depict gods and goddesses holding ankhs to the nostrils of the deceased, symbolizing the giving of life force that would sustain them in the afterlife. This act was more than symbolic. It was a ritual believed to have real transformative power. The dead needed this divine breath to navigate the afterlife's challenges and attain immortality. Misconceptions and confusions. Around the Ankh in modern times, the Ankh has been subjected to various interpretations, some of which are oversimplified or misleading. One common misconception is that the Ankh is merely an ancient version of the Christian cross. While there may be superficial similarities in shape, the meanings and origins of these symbols are vastly different. The cross represents the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ, a narrative centered around sacrifice, redemption, and salvation. The Ankh, on the other hand, is fundamentally a symbol of life, its creation, sustenance, and perpetuation beyond death. The loop at the top of the Ankh, often interpreted as a handle, represents the concept of infinity or the eternal, encompassing the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Another misconception is that the Ankh is solely a magical symbol without any real historical or cultural context. This is a reductionist view that overlooks its profound role in Egyptian theology, cosmology, and daily life. The Ankh's meaning is not just a matter of personal belief or esoteric knowledge. It is grounded in the lived experiences and religious practices of an entire civilization. Origins of the Ankh, theories and debates. The origins of the Ankh remain a subject of much debate among scholars. Some theories suggest that the Ankh's shape might have been derived from the sandal strap, a practical item that was necessary for walking on the hot sands of Egypt. This interpretation aligns with the idea that the Ankh symbolizes life and movement. Other theories propose that the Ankh represents a combination of male and female symbols, embodying the concept of fertility and creation. The loop is thought to represent the female womb, while the vertical line is considered a phallic symbol, together creating the unity of opposites and the generative forces of nature. There are also interpretations that link the Ankh to the Nile River, which was the lifeblood of Egypt. The horizontal line represents the Nile itself, while the loop above could symbolize the delta, where the river flows into the Mediterranean Sea, spreading out in a fan-like shape. In this context, the Ankh embodies the idea of life-giving water, fertility, and the sustenance of the land and its people. Despite these varying interpretations, what is clear is that the Ankh's design was not arbitrary. It was crafted with intention and profound meaning, a symbol meant to encapsulate the Egyptian understanding of life, death, and the cosmos. Representations in art and artifacts. Throughout the millennia of Egyptian history, the Ankh appeared in countless works of art, from grand temple carvings to delicate pieces of jewelry. In paintings and carvings, gods and goddesses are often depicted holding the Ankh, either giving it to the pharaoh as a symbol of life, or holding it up to the sun, perhaps as an offering, or a way of receiving divine power. Pharaohs are also frequently shown holding the Ankh, particularly in scenes that depict them interacting with deities. This illustrates their role as intermediaries between the gods and the people, possessing divine authority to rule over the land. The Ankh appears in various materials, from gold and silver to wood and stone, indicating its broad use across different social strata. In tomb paintings and papyri, the Ankh is a common feature, often painted in vivid colors, such as blue, green, and red, which were believed to have protective properties or to signify different aspects of life and the divine. For instance, blue represented the Nile and the heavens, while green symbolized fertility and rebirth. The Ankh and the gods. The association of the Ankh with gods and goddesses is one of its most intriguing aspects. In the pantheon of Egyptian deities, several gods are frequently depicted with the Ankh, each adding a layer of meaning to the symbol. Osiris, the god of the afterlife, is often shown holding the Ankh. As the deity who presides over death and resurrection, Osiris's connection to the Ankh reinforces its role in granting eternal life. Isis, the goddess of magic, motherhood, and fertility, is another prominent figure often depicted with the Ankh. Her association with the Ankh highlights its role in creation, nurturing, and the magical aspects of life. Ra, the sun god, is depicted with the Ankh as he sails across the sky in his solar boat. The Ankh, in this context, symbolizes the daily renewal of life and energy, mirroring the journey of the sun from dawn to dusk and beyond. Each of these gods embodies different aspects of existence: life, death, rebirth, and the cosmos. The Ankh, in their hands, becomes a symbol that transcends any single interpretation, encapsulating the complexities of Egyptian theology and cosmology. Rituals involving the Ankh. Rituals involving the Ankh were an essential part of religious and royal ceremonies. In the temple rituals, priests would use Ankhs in various rites to invoke divine favor, protection, and fertility. The opening of the mouth ceremony, a crucial funerary ritual, often featured the Ankh. This ritual was performed to restore the senses of the deceased, allowing them to eat, speak, and move in the afterlife. The priest or priestess would touch the mouth of the mummy with special tools, sometimes shaped like an Ankh, symbolizing the breath of life being restored to the dead. In daily temple rituals, offerings of Ankhs were made to the gods as symbols of gratitude and devotion. Large wooden or stone Ankhs were often placed at altars, where they were used as part of the sacred offerings. These rituals, conducted by the high priests, were thought to maintain the balance of the cosmos, ensuring that the divine order was preserved and that life continued to flourish on earth. The Ankh in funerary texts and tombs. Ancient Egyptian tombs and funerary texts provide some of the richest evidence for the Ankh's significance. The Book of the Dead, a collection of spells and incantations meant to guide the deceased through the afterlife, frequently features the Ankh. In many of these texts, the Ankh is portrayed as a protective amulet, a sign that the gods had blessed the deceased with life everlasting. Tombs of the elite, especially those of pharaohs and high priests, often included Ankhs in their funerary goods. These Ankhs could be made of various materials, including gold, faience, and even wood, each believed to possess different properties that could aid the deceased. For example, gold was associated with the sun and eternity, while faience, a glazed ceramic material, was thought to represent rebirth and immortality. The symbolic meanings of the Ankh. The Ankh's symbolic meanings are many and varied. At its most fundamental level, the Ankh represents life, but the ancient Egyptians had a much broader concept of life than we do today. For them, life was not just the physical experience on earth, but also the spiritual journey that continued after death. The Ankh, therefore, became a symbol of continuity, a bridge between worlds, representing the cyclical nature of existence. Moreover, the Ankh was also a symbol of power and authority. By wielding the Ankh, gods and pharaohs demonstrated their control over the forces of life and death. It was a visual representation of divine favor, indicating that the bearer had been chosen by the gods to wield such power. The Ankh in the modern era today, the Ankh has transcended its ancient origins to become a popular symbol in modern culture. It is often seen in jewelry, tattoos, and fashion, embraced by people who feel a connection to its meanings of life, rebirth, and spiritual awakening. In the 1960s and 70s, the Ankh became a symbol of peace and freedom, aligning with the countercultural movements of the time. Yet, even in the modern era, the Ankh retains much of its ancient mystique. It continues to be a symbol of life and immortality, of the eternal mysteries that lie beyond the veil of our everyday existence. It has found a place in contemporary spiritual practices, including neo-paganism and various New Age beliefs, where it is used in rituals, meditation, and healing practices. Conclusion: the Ankh's enduring legacy. In reflecting on the Ankh, it becomes clear that this symbol is far more than an artifact of a distant past. It is a profound emblem that has captivated human imagination for millennia. Whether seen as a key to the mysteries of life and death, a representation of divine power, or a symbol of personal spiritual awakening, the Ankh continues to resonate with us today. So, as we close this exploration into the mysteries of the Ankh, consider what it might mean to you. Is it simply an ancient artifact, or could it hold deeper, more personal significance? Could it be a reminder of life's eternal cycle, a key to understanding the deeper mysteries of existence, or perhaps a symbol of your own journey and transformation? Let us know in the comments below, and if you want to uncover more of these ancient secrets, be sure to subscribe and join us on this fascinating journey through time.